Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm going to wait until a couple more people is on before we start. So excited. It's the premiere of Do It Now TV.
Yes.
I'm really happy that, this is something that, I'm ecstatic. Anyways, tonight I have Jacqueline Caraya with me.
Hello. Hi.
And I decided to talk to Jackie today about a whole slew of things. But before we go into everything, I want Jackie to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Caraya. What would you like me to tell them?
Who you are? Tell them a little bit about who Jackie Caraya is.
I'm a financial advisor, but tonight I'm just hanging with my girlfriend and we're just talking about relationships.
Yes, relationships and relationships. But before we go in, I want to thank my sponsors for today. My sponsors for Do It Now TV is is AMW. Mail reviews happening on April 28th, and Parallel Paint. I'm sorry, it's our first. I don't produce is going crazy over there. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, this is crazy.
Too much.
Having too much fun. We haven't even started yet. Anyways, Mika Van Beal has a Queen of the Day event that's starting next week, Saturday. And I hope all you women can come out. It's about empowered women. It's about women, not only women, but male as well. Anyways, today, the topic of today and what I'm going to talk about is stroking men's ego. A couple weeks ago, we did a video on stroking men's ego. And the response was outrageous. And it's because of her. Jackie is huge on talking about stroking men's ego.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jackie, what's your thoughts about stroking men's ego?
Well, you know what? Let's get back to, I think we had a lot of controversy, especially from the Americans.
Yeah.
So, stroking, I guess I'm a West Indian kind of girl, and we talk about stroking men's ego, but it's about appreciation, being appreciated, whether it's man or woman, we need to feel appreciated. So, more so, men want to feel appreciated, and, I've heard this many times where we have to go out and we struggle with dealing with life in general, and then to come home to the abusive environment, or not be able to be appreciated by the woman that we love. So that's where the whole stroking ego came from. It says men like to be stroked because they want to feel that they're loved and appreciated.
So how do you stroke somebody's ego? Just give me an example of how you would stroke somebody's
Really?
ego. Yeah, please. Because I don't know about stroking men's ego. What do you tell me?
But I think you do, though.
I don't think so. I'm a touchy like I'm a...
It's all of that. Okay, it's about being proud. Okay, for instance, they've done something great, and you kind of like tell them how proud you are, or babe, I love when you do that. That kind of stuff. I mean, that's just normal. I mean, your babe, you're going to tell them, even if it's, somebody that has done something great. I'm so proud of you. That's so awesome when you do that, or because it makes
awesome when you do what?
Really? Okay. Let's say, for instance, he decided to build something beautiful, because I do like see men get done to work, but they did something, like whether it's maybe build something for me in the garden, or I asked them to put together something and they've done it.
Okay, you know what? I don't know if people don't like the word stroking men's ego. I don't know if it's the ego thing that people don't like. What's the other word would you say?
Appreciated.
Appreciated?
Appreciated. People want to feel that they're accepted and appreciated. Who don't?
All right, so this is I'm going to read some of the stuff that, some inboxes that we got in terms of stroking men's egos, right? We have a person says, the man you're either interested in or who's your partner stroke his ego, affirm that he is noticed and welcome and appreciated. Just like what you said. Mm-hmm. Ask a woman who has ever faked an orgasm.
Wow, that's going deep now. You know, I'm hoping it doesn't get to that extreme.
So you're talking, it's not only sexual, you're talking, it's
no,
like affirmation.
Yeah, because
it's
you know what?
Affirmation.
I mean, I think when we first started this, I had said to you that I once worked for a VP who said, you know, use me, abuse me, but don't ignore me. And what he was trying to say is that he make sure you recognize I'm here. You know, like he just did not, I don't know if maybe he had a bad marriage at some point and he was not accepted or appreciated. But he felt, you know, because the job that I did at the time was a very demanding job, and he had 5 women, five strong women.
Oh, working with
working
okay,
with him.
Sorry.
And that's where the conversation came. I said, you know, why would you hire 5 strong women? And he said, first of all, because they can get the job done. But he didn't mind that because he knew that, you know, he can come in there even if he got that we chased him back into his office. He was getting the attention he needed, right? So again, he loved to come around me because if he wore a nice suit, I would say, "Nice suit. I like your cologne." So we used to call him trotting. He used to trot around the office so that he can get the attention.
So what about women? You think women need them ego stroke as well?
Why not? Why not? Who do not like to feel appreciated? Who do not want to feel that they're loved and appreciated?
I find that if we say the word stroking somebody's ego, people seem to get offended.
Maybe because of, right. You know, it's like being in England, you say, you know, you put the roast in the oven, but if you get to America, that roast becomes something different. So from, I guess, place to place or country to country, the word stroking or whatever words can be using a different terminology. So again, what is one for one man's country could mean offensive to another. So it's just about the wording of how it's used and when it's used. But
because I remember when somebody used to say to me, you know, stroking your ego, because I have a corrupt mind. I'm not thinking about affirmation and making a person feel good. You know, I'm thinking a total different stroking.
Right.
And then I become a woman. I still think it's that stroking.
Well, it could be that too. I think it's you know, but it could. But I mean, from when I say to you stroke, I mean, we talk about this quite frequently, and I have come to realize that men like to feel the appreciation.
One person was saying, if we view men as children,
okay,
you know what I mean, we should treat them as such.
No, I don't agree with that, because even children you don't treat a certain way. I like to raise people up. I like to build people. So I don't, that's, to me, that's saying you're talking down to your man, and that's not where I was coming from.
So do you stroke them to get stuff
build
from them?
Them up. You build them up. Because
or to get something from them.
We all want to get something.
But we're talking about getting something.
Period. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you want them to mow the lawn, you want them, because you know what? A man is going to want to do more for you if he feels appreciated.
By just stroking their ego.
That's right.
So what you're saying is just to make them feel good, because on the everyday they're out there struggling and bustling and just getting word down.
You know what?
So when they come home to their partner,
why should they get beaten up at home too?
Okay.
That's what it is. Like the thing is, your home is your safe haven, and you coming home to somebody keep busting your ass. Why would you want to come home?
Did you just say ass?
Sorry.
No, good. I like that. But you know what? I totally agree with you, because I mean, men, you know what? Women are always. We have so many women groups around. Like everywhere we go, it's a woman group here and there. And I find that the men don't have enough places to go. You know what I mean? And for brotherhood and to feel good about certain things.
Well, I think one of the biggest problems, men still cannot open up. They're very they internalize everything. And sometimes men don't want their brothers to know what they're going through.
You know, my mind went a different direction, right? I'm just saying.
But yeah. Women share, like, we have a tendency to talk. Like, I think that's the beautiful part of having good girlfriends is that you can you have an outlet. But I think sometimes men, it's that macho comes back of upbringing. You have to be a man. You can't cry. You know, a lot of times they internalize a lot of things, and so they don't want their brother or their buddies to know what they're going through. So a lot of times they'll hold it inside, and then here you're coming in, and he's already struggling, right? He's already struggling, and then you're like, you didn't do this.
Whiny.
Yeah.
Anyways, for those who have just joined us, today is the premiere of Do It Now TV network, and we have Jackie Karaya with me today talking about stroking men's ego. This particular segment was sponsored by Unparalleled Paint.
Hey.
Right? He is he's in Durham. He's based out of Durham, and as well, it's also brought by American Most Wanted. They have a male review dance next week, the 28th. And also Queen of the Day by Mika Van Viel. That's going to be another amazing women's day. I'm going to be one of the speakers as well. I'm going to be all over the city because I'm going to be at America's Most Wanted. I'm going to be hanging out with Mika. It's going to be a crazy April 28th.
And she's going to love it.
And you know what? That's just me.
That's just her.
Yeah, people call me Roadrunner. And again, we're just talking about stroking men's ego. Jackie's just trying to say that, she's not trying, she is saying that as women, when men come home, we need to make them feel appreciated, love them up, and let them know that, we need them. And it's because, it's the everyday hustle and bustle, kind of bring them down. So when they come home, we need to love them, make them feel appreciated, stroke them ego,
right.
make them feel appreciated and loved.
So we talked about men, but I mean, again, women also like to feel appreciated. So this is not a one-way street. Because if we don't feel appreciated either, we're not going to give you love.
Exactly.
So it is a two-way street.
Exactly.
You have to give and you will get. I mean, and I think I've said this, it's a mirror. So I always say, I treat people the way I want to be treated. So,
Hi, Shelly. Thank you for visiting. How are you doing? Share. Yeah. Okay.
So it's not only men. Like, I don't want people to think that here we are building up men. Because we as women also...
You know what? I think they do know it's a two-way street, but for right now...
No, because sometimes men think it's all about them too. So, you know what I mean? It's a two-way street. Life is a mirror. So when I say that, it means that stroking men's ego, it means building your man up. But he needs to build her up too.
Definitely.
And sometimes we have this because, especially as a West Indian woman, I should say, let me just correct that. Because I get this confusion, are you West Indian or whatnot? I'm from Guyana, but I was raised with a very strong woman. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to be loved and appreciated also. It's a two-way street. So it's not only you building your man up, but build me up too.
You gotta build you up too? You gotta build you up how? By stroking your ego?
Damn right. or take me out and wine and dine me,
yeah, I hear that. Because that's what I'm realizing too. A lot of people nowadays, especially the men that come home, them think of them alone tired. By the way, if I do get Janet, right on. Thank you, Janet. Janet, right on. Yeah, but I totally agree with you, because we're both tired, we both work, we both need appreciated. Right?
For me, what's a turn on for me? I'll tell you this. I love to see a man do some construction around the house.
Oh.
I would be cooking all day because I love to cook. So,
Yes, you're a cooker.
So if you love to eat, I'll cook as long as you building something. Keep going, baby. Keep building.
Don't be lying down. You want them to do something.
I want to see the sweat.
Gentlemen, she wants to see the sweat. But it's true, the women do like seeing men around the house. It's just a turn off when as women, we're in the kitchen doing stuff and them lying down and not doing anything.
But I'm not saying sometimes it's nice.
No, sometimes. But come on, it's a two-way street because we're tired too. You know what I mean? It's funny enough, before I decided to come on here, I was reading something. I don't know if it's true or not. And this person has an analogy about a woman getting up at 4 o'clock, getting the kids ready, making lunch, taking the kids to school, going to work, coming home and doing it all over again. The man does the same thing, but instead of him getting up at 4, he gets up at 7, go to work and come home. And then her day's full. And then 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he's touching her one some. So who's stroking whose egos right there?
Nobody's stroking
exactly. Exactly.
Because she's pissed.
She no, but the crazy thing about it is if she doesn't give it up, then he's pissed. So there's no stroking of ego. So it has to be equal.
But then there comes the communication, right? There's got to, so where it comes into the next level now is stroking. We talk about stroking, but then we're going into a deeper form. So there's got to be communication. Like you got to talk. The biggest breakdown in any relationship.
But
also.
you know what, Pete? You can't talk at all. But are you listening? There's two different
That's
things.
true. That's true. But again, how are you talking? Are you barking?
No.
So here goes the stroking again.
Yeah, that's a point. Nice, yeah. Yeah. You know, stroke. So
here we go, babes,
yeah.
Babes, I'm tired, but if you want,
You know what my girlfriend says it's best? She says, and it's funny, when she's in the kitchen, and for instance, he knows he's supposed to do something, but what she does for him to get up is, you know what? I'm going to do this. Could you come help me now? And that's how them need. Because men and women don't think alike.
Definitely.
And maybe that's what the guy was saying when he was talking about treat men like children. I wonder if that's what he meant and we overstepped the boundaries.
I don't know.
Because I know you one of few of them did get on him when he said that.
Well, I didn't say anything. I really didn't actually. I just left it alone because again, I always say, when somebody it's interpret the perception or where you are at that moment. So, sometimes somebody writes something and they could be writing that because where they are or thinking about something because something could have just happened. Mm-hmm. So it could also be a defense mechanism that they threw it out there because they either pissed at the moment or something didn't respond to them correctly. So again, it's a perception, where are you when you're making this comment?
What do you mean?
Where are you,
in life, you mean, or in your mindset?
Or in the moment. He could have just gotten,
Hi, Susanna. Thanks for joining.
Whether, he was, maybe somebody already snapped at him, or he's already having a bad day, or he really, it was a guy who said that, right?
It was a guy.
Yeah, treat us like kids.
Treat us like children.
Well, I don't know about that. That just kind of like,
so either, because I can't see my partner be treating my partner as a child.
No, that's a disrespect. But again, I don't know. But
that's what he likes. And then he teaches children taekwondo. Okay. Making me wonder.
Well, no comments on that one, but yeah, I'm just coming from the place where I always like, okay, where is he at that moment? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because tomorrow he might give me a whole different conversation, and I'm getting a whole different person, and it's like, who was that person yesterday?
Well, you know what.
We all become
emotional. That's true. Because we don't even know the person anyways, as you said, if there's somebody that we know, we kind of look at it totally different.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I always say perception. A lot of times I post stuff and I'll get feedback from my friends and it's perception. Mm-hmm. Where you're coming from and where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right? I posted because when I read the quote and I reposted it because it made me thought of something. Mm-hmm. So I reposted it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And that person could be in a different place. And now his interpretation of that message is totally different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right. So, a quick update of what we're talking about. We're talking about stroking men's ego. And I have Jackie with me tonight. She's just trying, I'm not going to say both of us. What we do is trying to appreciate our mate. Right?
Right.
By just making them feel good all over. No matter what, you know what I mean? And so we stroke them ego or make them feel appreciated in just everyday life. Love them up.
And I'll tell you this, it doesn't matter how big a jobs they have. It doesn't matter how high a title they have.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I was talking a person in general.
Because a lot of times we also think that because they have this, they're the CEO of a company or whatnot, that they don't need that. But those are the ones who need it most. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right?
You know what? I don't know. I probably stroke men's ego. I mean...
Really? I want to record you the next time.
I don't know if I stroke it good enough, though.
Oh, really? You just like to play the lemon thing come out every once in a while, when I talk about you get more with honey than lemon.
I like that one.
So maybe you squeeze a little lemon in the honey, right?
Oh my God.
Mix it up a little bit.
Mix it up a little bit. If anybody's out there watching this world, what do you guys think about stroking men's ego or feel appreciated? What's your thought? because it makes sense to see how other people are thinking or their other views are thinking, you know what I mean? Or maybe you can add something, because I agree with you that we need to stroke or make our mates,
or appreciate
or
for the
make,
ones who got offended by the word of stroking.
or make be feel appreciated. I mean, you know what? Anybody, a nice thank you is good. A nice hug. How was your day? Those little things make somebody feel appreciated. And we're always talking about, date night. Mm-hmm. We're always saying our men are supposed to plan date night. Women, make your man feel appreciated by even planning it as well. You know what I mean? It's not a one-way street. It's two-way, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we're talking about, yeah?
Relationship is it takes
work.
two. It takes two, right?
And I don't like the saying where people are saying relationship is 50-50. I personally think I don't like 50-50. I'm 100. I'm putting it out there for 100. And I expect my partner to put it out there for 100. 50% for what? You know what I mean? That's just my take on it. So if I'm going to appreciate you, I'm going to give you 100% of me. Trust me. Wink,
there
wink.
you go.
Wink,
she
wink,
just
wink.
put it out there.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Oh my God. I kind of wanted to also... so tonight we kind of wanted to talk about the stroking men's ego, and I think we kind of cover a lot of that. Is there anything else you wanted to add in terms of stroking men's ego? Other
than if our guests things that they want us to...
No? Okay. No. So what we also wanted to talk about was being submissive. And one of the reasons why I chose that topic is because people think I'm a submissive person. So what I did, as per the dictionary, it says what submissive mean is ready to conform to authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive, compliant, dutiful, docile, obedient, passive, uncertainty.
Okay, so which dictionary was that one from? Because there was many of them, right?
Many know.
Okay, so
ask me a dictionary. All of them say the same thing.
So okay, so I like to go to the encyclopedia, right? So anyway, so I'm gonna. So okay.
So Jenny, Waller, mash breaks. Oh, that mash needs to stop. Denise, men want to know we are thankful for what they do. Denise, you are true.
Absolutely.
But that's what we're talking about, stroking. But we need to let them know. Not only we're telling them, oh, baby, do this, we also need to let them know. For real. Mm-hmm. I totally agree, Denise. So thank you for saying that. Right?
Especially when he's doing, like, let's say he built a table. Mm-hmm. Tell him, oh, babes, look, what a great job.
I'll do, even if it doesn't look good, just say it look good.
No. Next year fall.
If it don't look good, tell them, damn it. But anyway, let's go back to Swiss. Hey, Joella, Monica, thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're going to go back. And when you look into encyclopedia, I don't know what encyclopedia
we're going on. So let me just bring it back a little bit. When you said... we talked about this prior, and you had said, people become offensive when you talk about, if somebody asks them if they're submissive.
No, before we go there though,
okay.
You said you look into the encyclopedia.
Okay, so let me just from what I've read and from
your understanding.
Okay, submissive is mostly. I mean, I know a lot of times people may think submissive is coming way back from slavery days and being controlled and whatnot. But submissive, coming, I guess, from a male perspective, or even from submissive is when it's voluntary consent.
What's that? Yes, Charlie. Sorry, you never take your man for granted. I so agree. You are right. Sorry, sit on my son. Go ahead.
So yeah, so it's submissive is voluntary consent. It comes down to it's a sexual part. It's a sexual. So to me personally,
it's sexual. You said
it's sexual.
Why? Why?
You see, because you're looking at it from that where things asking. Okay, because to me, I'm assuming where this whole submissive comes up because maybe it's been asked as a question. Now, if it's coming, hear me out. If it's coming from an interpersonal relationship, meaning if my partner asked a question. of being submissive. It means that maybe
Denise says, I think being willing to submit is different from being submissive.
well,
This,
submissive in the encyclopedia, as I would put it, is talking about a female submissive, right? Meaning
are we talking sexual encyclopedia?
sexual partners, right? And it could be most of the times it's a male dominant, or it could be from a female. So it doesn't always have to be male, because you could have a dominant woman who calls the time she wants sex, what she wanted, she calls the place, how she wants it. So, you know, I think sometimes we get caught up, it's like male trying to control women. But it's both sides, because you could have a dominant woman who wants to do that to either her partner or a more passive male.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. Tell her she's important. She will stroke her. It's true. Yeah, it's so
Who's
true.
the man?
Dash man. I know who he is. That's true. Tell her she's important. I totally agree with you. But I get what you're saying. But you know what? Okay, I'm not biblical. I'm not biblical. But when the pastor said you have to be, isn't there somewhere in the Bible that says you have to be submissive?
Okay, now we're going way.
No. Don't answer my question. Okay. Yes or no? You're more biblical.
Okay.
Yes or no? Is there a part that says it?
Oh, I can get real.
No, I don't want you to just say yes or no. Answer my question.
Yeah, but I don't want to get too deep because I can't remember exactly that.
That's fine, but there is a part. And the reason why I'm saying it is when a man said to the woman, to the girl, and they're dating, and his thing is, are you submissive? Right away they get defensive because in their head they're thinking when the person said, are you submissive? You're going to be sit down and whatever they tell you what to do, they will follow. And I think that's that's where women get defensive when a man asks them. But what you're saying is it's a willingness. It's not forced.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Coming back to if a man now, are you in a nightclub and he's asking that, or
no, we're talking about relationship. You get married, you're together, and the man is going to say, "All right, so you're submissive." So, but remember now, because especially when we talk about submissive, and when the Bible says this, and the Bible says that, in the back of their head, you're thinking, "Oh, because I'm the head of the house, anything I say goes." But that's when women are hearing a man saying that, they get defensive. But maybe in reality, what you're saying, that has nothing to do with it. It's a willingness.
It's a will. It's
exactly.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of women misconstrue the word submissive.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what my whole thing is. If I'm hearing somebody say that, I would ask the question, in what way?
But everybody's not like you, Jackie. You is a multi-masterpiece. That's Jamaican for me. She's very vocal. And that's different. Right? Because I wear a lot of chokers. I've been asked that all the time. Are you submissive?
That's rude, though.
No, it's people prejudge people every day.
Okay, but
so I don't get it. I don't get offensive because of that.
But so a man will come up to you and just ask you if you're submissive because you wear chokers. Okay, but that's straight because I wear a lot of chokers too, and nobody never asked me that question. So maybe
you know what it is. I guess I don't know if it's the look. I don't know, but I've gotten texts, I've gotten inboxes, I've gotten people try to think she's thinking kinky sex. So Shelly, what you're saying is being submissive is kinky sex? Is that what Shelly's saying? Yeah. So Shelly, let me know if that's what you're thinking. Being submissive is kinky sex. Okay. So for me, I don't find myself being submissive. I don't find I can be
right
depending on the situation,
right.
But not because I wear a necklace that means I'm submissive.
I agree.
But I am not a dominant person though. Okay. You know, I'm not a dominant person.
No. But you know, it depends on the dominant. You know, is it because you're asking for what you want and so is that? I'm just trying to understand.
When I think of dominant, I'm talking take it over, lie down, turn around, switch, boom, back. No, I'm not. Being submissive, do what you do in sexual terms. That's right, Dave. I agree with you. See, everybody have different takes on what being submissive is.
Exactly.
And obviously,
that's why
a lot of these people are thinking it's more sexual and more kinky. But Shelly says yes. Okay, Shelly, got you. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I mean, I would. Okay, that's why I said nobody's ever asked me if I'm submissive. But
nobody never asked you that?
No, because maybe, you know, no.
Oh my God.
No.
ears giving us feedback as well. Okay, so why I wear a choker is because it makes me look sexy.
Well, I do too. But
exactly, but I don't. It's like I don't want people think that I'm submissive.
It's kinky.
I'm not kinky either, unless you want me to. But I'm not kinky.
Coming back to what I said. Coming back to what I said, right?
You know what it is?
It's
I don't care.
voluntary or
Yeah, you know what it is, Jackie? For years, I've always lived under this dark cloak of making people view me a certain way. You know, meek and mild and
where was I before I met you?
No, before you met me. It's very few people know this.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to be me. Who cares who want to judge me or assume that I'm tying up men in my dungeon? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. With my
maybe they want to tie you up.
No, I'm not into bondage, so that's not happening. No bondage, no nothing. But blindfold, maybe that's the kinkest I'll go is blindfold. And outside and in the car and in the backyard, but that's as kinky as I would go. But to be honest though, this whole submissive thing is, I think people just blow it out of the water and just make it seem men and women are not telling you what to do unless you're a willing partner in the bedroom.
Because it could be where, it's like playing the role. He may just want something different tonight, right? And
that's another thing too. Something different tonight.
What's wrong with that?
But that's it though. We need to change up the team them. Like seriously.
He just want to play the role. He just
But how would you feel if hi Simone, thank you for joining us. How would you feel if a man how would you feel though tying up a man and beating him?
No, I'm not into that. I'm sorry. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not into all of that.
So you're not into bondage or no BDSM?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
But it's not fighting. It was a little bit make him feel nice.
Well, a little tap, but don't become like.
Would you tap a man though? Would you smack a guy with a whip or a tussle or something? The audience in the room say yes, they would.
I don't know. We'll have to think about that one. It maybe depends on the person. I don't know. I like gentle. I don't like this. Wow. I don't want nobody pinning me down. I don't want no. No, I'm not into that. And when you talk about rough sex, where I feel like, is this rough anymore, or we're taking it? No. I don't like to feel I'm out of control. When you start getting there, my space becomes small.
Really?
Yes. It's like
it's okay. See the difference though. You like to stroke, and I just
there you go. Nobody put nothing on my neck because you see, I bruise easily. No.
Bruise me, baby.
No.
Hey Homer, E-Rock, thank you for joining us.
No, we're not going there. No, I'm a lover. I love gentle. Be gentle with me. I like the
gentle.
Yes.
Like right through.
No, but honey, you get into personal
Sorry. I told you if I fall off the train track, I need to bring him back because I can get crazy.
I'm not into that whips and your body start getting bruised and you think, some women like the candle being burned. No, I'm not into all that stuff. It's just taking me.
Oh my girl, so how you know about candle and all them things then?
Because you sent me the tapes. Gotcha.
She's only joking. Wow.
You walked in that
one. It's alright. Wow. Let's recap. On the second half of the show, we're talking about being submissive. So what the viewers are saying and what Jack is basically saying is, it's a kinky thing. We're blowing it out of proportion. We're thinking that we're being submissive to a person by giving your partner giving us order. Mm-hmm. But what it really means is that it's a sexual or sensual play, giving permission in the bedroom for certain part. Or anyway, not in the bed. Or out of the bedroom, as for Jackie, or the kitchen, or the garage, or the car, or the steps.
Whatever.
So we need to not blow the proportion.
Right. That's why I asked the question.
And embrace it for what it is. And before we go any further, I kind of want to say again, Oh my God, my train of thought is gone. This episode is brought to you by American Most Wanted, which is happening on April 28th, which is next Saturday. Connect with me for tickets. Also, Queen of the Day from Mika's Van V's very first conference of women. It's going to be all day. I'm one of the speakers as well. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. She took a bunch of ladies today to get all dolled up for next week. And also this episode was also brought to you by Parallel Paint. He's out here in Durham doing some amazing things.
Not only Durham, he's right
all
across
over, but his office is in
right.
Durham. All right, so this episode we're talking about being submissive, and Jackie is claiming that she's not submissive, but I think she is, and I have to go send her some more tapes, so then she's going to recognize with the tape that she's a submissive woman.
I read a lot too.
But
So
it's crazy, right? So it just dawned on me. We're talking about stroking people's ego and being submissive, right? Suppose you get an angelic person like me, because I'm very angelic, you can see, right? Look. Right? And then here I am, you're stroking my ego. Remember now, I've never ventured into the world of clinging or being submissive, or you know what I mean? So you're stroking my ego to come to the other world or to the other side. Is that a thing? Will you meet a man? You've never been there.
me?
No, we're just rhetorical. So that could, it kind of...
No, but it's funny that you can think like that.
I know, but
I'm just thinking it just depends where that person's head is at. Because if they're already meek, or
I was meek.
Was before I met you. So let's just get back there. But but I mean, if we're talking about, so let's even go back to you.
Yeah,
so let's go back. Let's go back.
Sure.
The times you had where you expressed certain things about your past. So
yes.
let's go back to that place. That place was not a very happy place for you.
Not much breaks. Although it wasn't a happy place, in my head, this is where I was talking about talking, right? Okay. In my head, I was not in a happy place in the marriage, but in my head, I wanted to do these amazing, crazy things.
Really? Because I would think a person who's already in that dark place would feel threatened.
No. It all depends on how dark and where you at. Remember, I told you I am. I told you the very first time I saw somebody giving somebody's head. I was 8 years old in Jamaica. My parents traveled a lot.
Right.
And they had a suitcase. Back in the days, they used to call it grip.
Right.
And me and my sister, I'm going to call her name Carol Savage,
Lord.
always tried to play with the lock. And for weeks, we couldn't get it. And one day, it opened. And all that was in that briefcase was Dirty Magazine. My dad brought it from Switzerland because he studied in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. So mommy's always going back and forth with him. I remember going through, and all of a sudden I saw this black and white picture with this beautiful, beautiful woman and this big, beautiful dick, and she's giving him head. I mean, this is where, and I was 8 years old, and I remember it like yesterday. And I saw the girl, you can know she was on there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, holy crap, I want to do that.
Oh boy.
Because you made it look so good.
Right.
So in my head for years, I've always wanted to be open when it comes to certain things.
Okay, so to that part, that's pleasurable. Let's talk about here's a woman who may be meek because she's been abused for many years, and you now want to put chains and whips. What do you think that's going to do?
Well, that's different now.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's different because what you were explaining before, as if I was coming. No, I was never coming from a dark place. In terms of that, the dark place for me was that I was not vocal.
Okay.
I had no self-esteem. My self-confidence was shoot.
Right.
And I remember I met my husband early. Mm-hmm. Right? So we were together when I was 17, 18. And then until maybe like 6 years ago.
Right.
So my self-confidence and not knowing a lot of things, he was that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then after I left him, and then I just start meeting these people because now my energy is saying, I want to try this, I want to try this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And for some unknown reason, the next person that I dated, he was that person.
Right.
He was just this open person.
So coming back to you, the energy, the universe, and that's a whole other level. But there again, we create the life we want
to live. Exactly. And that's exactly what I created the life I live. And I enjoyed every minute of it.
There you go.
I enjoyed every minute of it. So if I don't get down and go back to my angelic place, never. But You know what I mean? So for me, my partner has to be very open because I'm not going back to the time when I was married.
Right.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, me being submissive, I can be if you play the card right. But at the same time, I'm not into tying down and ripping me up and caging me. No, I'm not into stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man, we can get a little bit, just a little bit of choke, not too hard. Thank you.
How did he get you out of your shell?
What was that?
How did he get you out of your shell?
How did he get my? You know what? Oh, did he get me out of my shell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how he got me out of my shell is when I was married, I was not able to speak to my husband.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was not a person for you to talk to because he was busy doing everything else. So the person that I started dating a little bit after my husband, he's the one that kind of took me out of my shell for a bit. You know, we dated for about 4 or 5 months, and then this man made me realize that I was a good-looking woman because I've never looked at myself in the mirror. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at myself in the mirror and he said, Donna, I love your beautiful brown eyes. I'm thinking, which brown eyes? Because when I'm in that dark place, you're not seeing what you look like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I didn't know that I had brown eyes until I was in my 40s.
Wow.
Right? And then I start having some beautiful, powerful women that start coming into my life. And they ask the right question. You know, when you go to a psychologist and then you ask the right question, these women, including my sister, just start asking the right question. And they're asking the right question, and I start talking. And I start talking. And the minute I regurgitate all that toxic that was in my body is the minute that I start reliving who I am.
Right.
You know, so then I met this other person that I dated for 2 years, and then he was also a talker. So he said, Donna, what's your fantasy? No, I remember when I started Savage Desires.
Right.
Remember now. And I started Savage Desires for women who can have orgasm. Because I'm thinking, I'm going to sell a bunch of dildos now, you know what I mean? For these women to have an orgasm. But I'm going to realize it wasn't about the dildo, it was more than that.
Right.
And I remember this guy said to me, so what are you into? Remember, you know, and I just left a marriage of 19 odd years. And somebody said, what are you into? I said, what do you mean, what am I into? Yes, you have to be very open-minded. Very. I said, what do you mean by what am I into? He said, what do you like sexually? I'm like, in the bed. You know what I mean? I had no idea what this guy was talking about.
Right.
So then I met this person a week after, and he said, Donna, what are you into? And I said, you know, somebody asked me, and I had no idea what that meant. He said, are you into...
Yeah.
It's bad? Oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry about that. Rogers is just playing with us. We have to go figure out, maybe we'll get... Live wire, yeah. Next time we have to go live connection versus using Wi-Fi. So we're sorry about that, and welcome back. I can't even remember where we left off. I was getting so passionate about my life and all of that, so I'm really sorry about that. Anyways, the guy, so he was the one that got me out to be very open-minded and know about different things. I mean, it was in my 40s that I got into outside play, like having intercourse outside, because I was just a bedroom person. And now 6 years after, I am very open-minded and I don't judge anybody when it comes to being sexual. You know what I mean? So anybody can come to me and talk to me about, you know, because before the Do It Now TV, my background is talking about sensuality. You know what I mean? So being submissive is, I can be submissive.
There you go.
If you want. Damn it. Yes, I can be submissive.
That's what I said when I started. It all depends, right? It all depends. It truly all depends.
Yeah.
And it depends where it's coming from and how it's coming to you.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
a sexual thing. It is a sexual thing. It is a sexual. It's you know, it's the partner asking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Would you be submissive? Meaning, would you let me take control tonight?
Okay. You know what? Would you consider yourself alpha male, alpha female? Would you consider yourself alpha female?
Well, I don't know. There are times I think I could be.
Yeah.
There are times that I know that I can be.
And because sometimes you don't want to bad me up too. It's like I can't. I don't understand.
Wait a minute.
Welcome, Karen and Joelle. Yeah. Sometimes you want to bad me up.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, like honestly, I am surrounded by a bunch of alpha female. I think I'm the only female.
But you need it.
But why you guys always want? It's true that you know that.
But you need.
All my friends, even all of you, alpha female. Why?
You
Why am
needed
I
it.
attracted to
No,
alpha
you
female?
needed it because that was the energy that you were calling into your space. But coming back, you needed it because you've grown tremendously. Hello, moving on. So I mean, it's like there's
Balance.
a scripture going back
You do
to
need balance.
the scripture. It's when you first you're drinking milk, and as you grow, you start eating solids. It's the same thing, right? When I met you, you were still a baby.
I don't like salads.
You're still a baby. You've grown tremendously, right? So yeah, but you coming back to the thing of am I an alpha female? That is a very strong word to say alpha female because it's a very dominant, and I believe I'm very feminine. I can be strong when it comes to certain things, but I also would give that over if I find if that person can play the role so that I don't have to be strong all the time. So it's not a matter of giving that power away. It's about the trust. So I had to always be strong, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't give that power up. So to say I'm an alpha, I don't know if I'm an alpha. I was put in the role and I played the role.
You played it very well.
Thank you. But it doesn't mean that I wouldn't give it up if I can trust that person. Because it is. That's what it comes down to. It's trust.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, I got you. Okay, guys, so again, just to recap, we were talking about stroking men's ego, and we're also talking about being submissive. Two great topics, I think, and I'm going to go right back to what I said. You can stroke somebody's ego to make them being submissive. If you have the right word, especially if you're not open.
Right.
If you're not open-minded.
You have to be open-minded.
But a lot of people are not open-minded. They're just in this little box, or those little, they're just in that box.
And I'll tell you, the open-mindedness is that you have to step out between. And I mean, how often have we talked about this? And I've always been in the shadow with you for years. Because even with that, I always, we always talk. But you were like, come on, let's do this. Come on my show. And I wouldn't, right? It's like I'm stepping over now. Even.
Yeah, so you finally come over to my side. So I stroked your ego to come on Donna's side. I get it.
No,
so it works.
So
I'm going to recap this. It works to stroke people's ego because I stroked her ego for her to come on my show.
No. So let's bring it. I'm very proud of where you've come. Okay, I remember having this conversation with you in 2015 where I said to you, and I spoke life into you, and I said, I can see you having a talk show. And I'm so proud of you because today you were the CEO of your own show.
Thank you.
And I'm very, very proud of you because I've seen the growth from the time we have started to collaborate to now. Mm-hmm. And you continue to just grow within yourself, and the fact that you finally got to that center where you can meditate and you're getting into the I am, the God that was in us that guides us and leads us. And I've seen how you have evolved in the last year, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm blessed to be a part of it. I'm blessed, and that's why I'm sitting here because I've watched you grow.
My brother-in-law is always saying that I have a big head. My Dave, or actually Lawrence, you see my head even gotten bigger from all that compliment.
It's a long journey because there was many times I was like, what the hell?
Anyways, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me on Do It Now TV. I mean, the name of the network speaks for itself. We're not waiting on anybody. We're going to do it now. Whatever we need to do now, you know what? We claim it. You want to write a book? Do it.
Amen.
Thank you, Shelly. Thank you so much. You wanna start our own business? Do it now. Don't wait. Because when I decided to start this, I mean, I was sitting for years. I've been wanting to do it. Welcome, Shakoi. Oh my God, baby girl. I wanted to do it, and I had to say, you know what? I'm going to do it.
And you did.
And it would just get better and better as days go by. Natalia, thank you, my darling.
And the other thing, one of the things that you know, Donna and I, we have our 8 o'clock talks every morning, even though I'm not a morning person. But, you know, one of the
She
things
has
that,
no choice now.
yeah, one of the things that I love about her is that, you know, is how she manifests everything. And the beautiful part about her is that she say things and all of a sudden, whatever she's asking for appears. And I smile many times because, you know, it comes right back to that scripture where it says, ask and it will be, you know, given, you know, seek and you will find, you know, and and again, it comes back. You ask for what you want. You tell the universe, if you want to call it God, Muhammad, whatever
you want to call it.
Tell it what it is that you want and speak with confidence and believe in your heart that it could happen.
Exactly.
And, you know, as I said, like 2015, I remember at Tim Hortons, we had this conversation.
I know.
And to sit here, you know, you got into something, you got into a show that,
so for years I wanted to do it, but because of laziness, I decided to go on there.
But but you know, you had the opportunity, and that opportunity brought you growth.
Yeah,
because it shows you exactly what you needed to do to start this show, right? I mean, when you said you were, I'm going to do it from home, I didn't have a clue what you were doing, right? But, you know, here we are now. You just got on it. You said this is the day we go in live, and you did it. So
this is what we're talking about. Do it now, not tomorrow. Do it now. Get up and think about today. Make it be about today. You know what I mean? You know what? Talk to people if you're not sure something works. Somebody made a comment that she wanted to start her own station, and a person said, connect with Donna. Because the reason why she didn't do it, because she didn't know. I didn't know how to do it too. I mean, read and ask questions. That's what your girlfriends and all your boyfriends are for. Ask questions. Ask questions, man. So again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. This is not the first. We have 2 other hosts that was on the Do It Now TV network. So starting next week, 3 other hosts under the Do It Now network. I'm sorry, and it's growing. We're looking for more hosts if you want to come under our network. So Mika Van Veel is one of her hosts. Ask Donna Marie is one of her hosts, and Susanna. Oh my God, Nichols. I'm so sorry. So next week, join us for those 3 powerful powerhouse women, talking about from relationship to branding to about everything, you know. So, you know, we're doing it now. We're here to stay. We're making a statement. We're a powerhouse. So thank you for joining us. So and most importantly, her show, you know, business owners of Durham, make sure to check in with Donna, you know, for advertisements and sponsorship. Yes. Again, you know, for this, you know, and this I have to give thanks for the sponsors. I'm not talking true sponsors who saw the potential and saw that we can do the opportunity. And our sponsors, you know, from Unparalleled Paint to Queen of Durham to American Most Wanted. So tune in every Friday at 9:30 to watch Talk with Savage Desires. And thank you again. Peace out. I'm going to fire my people.